Hello. Has anyone ever been heckled? Does everyone know what a heckler is? A heckler is someone that abruptly interrupts a conversation, most likely a public speech. At some point in our life, we've probably been heckled. It could be by a family member, a colleague, a friend, or even if we're giving a speech and somebody interrupts us without waiting until the end of the speech. What do you think motivates a heckler? Researchers claim that hecklers want to A, embarrass the speaker, get their opinion known at the cost of the speaker, or bring attention to themselves just because they're trying to get a point across, with no regard for the speaker. Is there ever a time for heckling? Based on research, there may be an appropriate time for heckling, and that would be, again, as I mentioned earlier, at the end of a speech. There is no real appropriate place for a heckler. Although heckling happens a lot at political conventions, sports events, and based on my own experiences, I have been heckled in meetings where I have not been able to execute what I'm trying to say because I was interrupted. The one thing about heckling in a sports event is that the heckler is not trying to embarrass the speaker or the crowd or bring attention to himself. He's trying to distract the player. For example, if you're at a Yankee game and you have a Boston Red Sox fan, heckling happens all the time at sports events, and it probably is considered appropriate, and that is probably the one place that a heckler could actually get away with it without being embarrassed. There are many times that in political conventions, presidents are heckled. Recently, Obama was heckled. President Bush was heckled and had a shoe thrown at him. One way that you could avoid heckling is what Bill Clinton did. He politely answered the question. There are methods of avoiding a heckler. Some methods are: do not make eye contact with the heckler. Act like you don't even know he's there. If the heckler is sitting in the front of the room, move to another side of the room. A really good way to maybe embarrass the heckler is to go behind them and let the crowd know who the heckler is. Most likely the heckler is not going to want to be embarrassed because they don't want to bring attention to themselves most of the time. They're just really looking to embarrass the speaker or get their point across. I believe there is no appropriate time for heckling, but it does happen every day. The best way, I guess, to avoid a heckler is to learn how to deal with them. I wouldn't be so worried about actually having the speech, because I think my biggest fear would be going into a room, giving a speech, and being heckled, more so than actually relaying the speech. So if you could work on ways to avoid them, that will definitely help in future speeches. Thank you.